Hi everyone, and welcome back to a new video and tutorial. Hope you're all doing great. So today I'm back again to share with you this pretty another hexagon using the double V stitch pattern. So we'll get started right away. So I'm using medium worsted yarn and 5.5mm crochet hook. I'm gonna start with a slip knot. And I'm gonna chain 4. I'm gonna make 2 incomplete double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. And join together, chain 1, repeat 2 incomplete double crochet, join together. Okay. This is the first cluster V stitch. I'm gonna chain 2 and repeat the same. I should have 6 cluster V stitch at the end. 6 cluster V stitch with 6 chain 2 space. So this is 2, chain 2, so the cluster V stitch is 2 incomplete double crochet joined together, chain 1, 2 incomplete double crochet joined together. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 3 more, chain 2, chain 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 1 more. Chain 2 and join to the top initial cluster. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So now we're gonna work in the chain 2 spaces only. I'm gonna chain 1 and in the chain 2 space, this one after the first cluster, I'm gonna make cluster V stitch, chain 2, cluster V stitch in all 6 chain 2 spaces. So chain 2, in the next space chain 2, chain 1, and that's it. Row 2 is complete, so we'll join on top of the initial cluster, and this is round 2. So it already looks pretty. Imagine if you turn it into a blanket. Very nice, whoops, very nice stitches, the cluster or double V stitch. Very pretty in many projects. So now we're going on to round 3 or row 3. So now we have, like all hexagons or granny squares, we have created small spaces between the cluster V stitches. So the corners, which are 6 corners, will always be worked the same, means cluster V stitch, chain 2, cluster V stitch, nothing changes. In the small spaces we will work only one cluster V stitch. So the spaces are between the cluster V stitch over here and over here. So we'll start with round 3. So this is my first space, and I'm gonna work the first cluster V stitch, and on to the next space where I'll do the same thing, cluster, chain 2, cluster. This is my last cluster V stitch, and then I'm gonna join to the initial cluster that I started, and this is how it looks like. 1, 2, 3 rows. Now what's gonna happen in the 4th row, these spaces are more now on the side, so every space will be a cluster V stitch, and the corners the same, will be a cluster V stitch, chain 2, cluster V stitch, and then the change will be on the next round. So chain 1, this is my first space, and I'm gonna do chain 1, is my first space. Chain 1 and the same thing on the next one, cluster V-stitch. And this is the first corner, cluster V-stitch, chain 2 and cluster V-stitch. So in the next two spaces, one cluster V-stitch only. Oops. And I'm gonna continue the same till the end of the round. Corners, cluster V-stitch, chain 2, cluster V-stitch, and one cluster V-stitch in each small spaces. And then we will see what to do on the next round to keep the hexagon flat, and we can make it as big as we want for any project. And here I'm at the end. I'm gonna join to the top cluster V-stitch and slip stitch. Okay, you see now it started shrinking a little bit. So for that, the next row will be the changing row for the rest of the work. So basically what you need to understand to keep the hexagon flat. So now we have 1, 2, 3 spaces on the sides. So the corners, no matter how many rows you do, they stay the same. You work one cluster, chain 2, one cluster. The only change every few rows is gonna be the small spaces. So for the next row, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna work this space, I'm gonna skip this space, and I'm gonna work this space, and repeat on this side, and repeat on this side, on each side, so to keep the flat shape of the hexagon and it doesn't shrink as I work further. So this is gonna happen every 2 rows, or if you want a better reference, when you get the odd numbers, like in this row you got 3, so the next row you'll reduce the middle space, and after 2 rows you will get 5 spaces, and you'll reduce again the middle space. You will work 2 spaces, skip 1 space, and work 2 spaces like that. So I'm gonna show you now what we're gonna do. So again, chain 1 and work the first space here with a cluster V-stitch, and then skip this next space and work a cluster V-stitch over here. And again I'm gonna work this, skip this and work this. And join to the beginning cluster with a slip stitch. Okay, and this is how it looks like. So like we said, we skipped this middle space and worked the next spaces. So now on to the next 2 rounds. It's gonna be a normal work, no skipping of any space. We're gonna work a cluster in every space and a double cluster with chain 2 in the corners. And after the next 2 rows, as we said, when you get the odd number, you're gonna skip the middle one and work the ones on the side the same way till you get the length and width you want of your hexagon or a star blanket. That's all you need to do for this hexagon and how to turn it into a star blanket. So every 2 rows we skip the middle space and work the rest. That's it. I hope the tutorial was clear and useful, and you'll try to make your own pretty blanket. Let me know what you think, and if you have any questions, do not hesitate to leave it in the comment section. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.